Time for 988 again.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling Lifeline. My name is Robin. Can I get your name?
My name is Sean Schwartz.
Hey, Sean. I see that today. Go ahead and get you connected to the comfort line, okay?
You're playing stupid and you're just tapping on your phone like an idiot. You're committing felonies.
Please select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery. Press 2 for a body scan relaxation exercise. Press 3 for affirmations.
Looks like Robin's a stupid cunt.
You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery. Press 2 for a body scan relaxation exercise. Press 3 for affirmations. You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery.
All right, so now we got to turn in Robin too, don't we? So let's call them again. They do not have the right to deny me the rights that I am asking for.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay.
Get disconnected.
I can barely hear you. Hello?
Um,
All right, you guys got to stop screwing around like that. This is not funny. If your equipment isn't working, you need to fix it because you're getting people hurt.
okay. I'm not sure. Maybe you can turn up the volume. I'm picking up here.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good.
I need to turn in 3 mandated reporters. One of them's name is Robin. One of them's name is Mary. And one of them's name is Erin. And they are all 3 with 988.
People who work here?
They're all 3 people who work there.
And what are you trying to do with them?
I'm trying to turn them in as mandated reporters. They didn't do their jobs. They played stupid, talked over me, and literally went out of their way to not do their jobs as mandated reporters, not to write down what I told them. I record everything live on YouTube because of this. This is not okay to treat a disabled person like this. It's not okay that we're being sent to do what?
But I'm sure that's been your experience. Let me look into it. When did you talk to them? Was it today?
Robin just hung up on me less than 5 minutes ago. And Erin hung up on me less than 10 minutes ago. And Mary hung up on me maybe 15 minutes ago. I don't know. They don't seem to care what it is that I'm saying. They're not writing it down. When I explained about the abuse that I'm taking here in Tillamook and that I'm taking it at by all of the Tillamook services, including law enforcement, and I gave the names, and I gave the instances and the dates of multiple situations of abuse. Mary pretended that Mary has a men's voice, so I don't know what the proper, I don't know if I'm supposed to say he or she or them or they. It's try not to be rude. This is becoming very complicated. Anyway.
You can just call them names.
Okay, so Mary, I tried to explain about the assault at the hospital. Mary didn't write that down. I tried to explain about Officer Lotham harassing and stalking me and intimidating me on multiple occasions. That wasn't written down. When I tried to explain about the abuse by the services here, Mary claimed that Mary was a mandated reporter and was gonna turn it into Adult Protective Services. And when I asked, because Mary was trying to hurry up and get off the phone real quick, I said, hey, would you read back to me what you're sending to Adult Protective Services? Not a thing about...
Yeah. I see.
Mary couldn't...
I'm going to look into it, okay?
Well, I'm trying to turn it in. It needs to be turned into Adult Protective Services. Mandated reporters not doing their jobs gets people killed. Are you there?
I'm going to talk to them and see if they've already did it. It sounds like they might have. Okay, I do see that.
No. I have the recording where Mary said that Mary didn't write any of that down.
I'm looking at the report right now. Mary did call the counseling center.
I no doubt about that. The thing is, what did Mary turn in? Mary didn't write down anything about any of the mandated reporters that I was trying to turn in. No, I have it recorded. I have it recorded that Mary did not in Mary's own voice. It's recorded live on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
You want to read back to me what it is that Mary wrote?
not able to do that. I'm sorry, that would be against the
Well,
law.
see, that's why I record it live on YouTube channel. See, because you say that a report was made, but you can't tell me what was sent and what wasn't. Mary got off the phone with me saying that Mary did not.
Can you please say? Okay, I understand you're frustrated, but please don't raise your voice on me. I'm not.
Ma'am, please stop talking over me like I'm retarded. I'm stuck in public, and you need to stop talking over me and trying to use that as an excuse to play stupid. You're not stupid. I am stuck in public. I'm autistic. I am frequently and often harmed. I go to the mandated reporters that I am sent to, and I tell them what I am supposed to, and every one of them sends me on to someone else. Now, you do need to listen to me, because I am telling you what is recorded on my YouTube channel. It is live for the public to see, live for the public to hear. You might want to consider that. When it comes to Mary being recorded on my channel, saying that Mary didn't write down any of the stuff about those mandated reporters, Mary did say that Mary did not write any of that down. Not about Tillamook Family Counseling, not about Officer Lotham.
I have to talk to her. Okay, I have to talk to her to make sure that was the case, okay?
So you are not going to listen to the victim, you're going to listen to the predator. See, these people all play stupid. 988 doesn't fucking help. It pushes people to suicide. The fact that they hung up on me is fucking stupid. Mandated reporters, my ass. It's hard to stop abuse when you're being abused by mandated reporters, isn't it? Their job is not to push us to commit suicide. It is inappropriate to send autistic people to suicide hotline to begin with. The fact that suicide hotline is full of mandated reporters who absolutely refuse to do their jobs, there's always some excuse, isn't there? Always some excuse. Always some excuse. We'll try it again, won't we? (988) 7 phone calls all together today. 7 of them. Are they doing any fucking good? No, they're not. They don't give two shits about any of us. They don't care if we live and die. What they care about is whether or not they can make a fucking profit off of taking advantage of us. Just like the cops, just like Tillamook Family Counseling Center. You goddamn right it's a racket. They all know they're committing felonies and none of them want to get in trouble. See, when they went and advanced from committing misdemeanors to committing felonies, you can hear it in their tone of voice. But they still want to play stupid, don't they? Of course they do. Everybody wants to play stupid. Everybody. You don't like generalized statements? Then don't fucking interrupt me nonstop. Can they stop interrupting me long enough to hear what I'm saying? No. They don't want to do their jobs. They are lazy. They're lazy. Lazy. Their job is in public service. They do not serve the public, they serve themselves. Fucking Nazi shits. It's like sending a Jew to Adolf Hitler to complain about the SS. What's Hitler gonna say? Get on the fucking train. What would Hitler say to the Jew? He'd say, oh, you just need to trust. You just need to trust the SS. They're taking you somewhere safe. And now, of course, they're conspiring with their coworkers to cover their sorry asses. They should have done their fucking jobs. These pieces of shit don't give a holy fuck about any of us. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They keep refusing to do their jobs as mandated reporters. What useless pieces of shit. It is not okay. But here I am having to do it anyway. One goddamn mandated reporter after another taking advantage of me for 6 fucking months. I suppose we should call them back.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ+ people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Thank you for calling Lifeline. This is Anna. Can I get your name?
My name is Sean David Schwartz.
Hi, Sean. I heard that you've been calling a bit tonight and that you experienced some things.
Yeah, I experienced felonies committed by some of the people who work for 988.
I see. Well, I know that a couple of reports have been made to the Adult Protective Services.
I already know it's in those reports.
And
I already know that the person that I spoke with did not put the stuff in the reports that I explained, intentionally left out all of the parts about all of the abuse here in Tillamook, including by the police, including the hospital. I had Mary read it back to me, what Mary was sending to the Adult Protective Services, and it literally omitted all of the felonies committed against me by officers and other services here. The very same services that I've been trying to turn into you guys for literally months. I keep getting sent back to you guys for you guys to send me back to them. The thing is, you're all mandated reporters, and when a mandated reporter does not do their job, even if they're your coworker, even if they're your best friend, you, as a mandated reporter, are required to turn it in. You are required. Even if it's a police officer, even if it is a DHS worker, even if it is a coworker.
Sean, can I ask, have you called them yourself? Because you can also file a report.
Ma'am, that's the reason that I'm sent to you guys, is because I am denied that right because I am disabled. I have to have an advocate to assist me with that. Now, I try to call you guys because when I am trying to call the police or talking to the police, they do the same thing that your employees do. They talk over me. Instead of changing the subject, I need to turn in your coworkers. I need to not be lied to. I need for people to not play stupid about their job as mandated reporters. I need them to not talk to me like I don't know what's going on. I need them to not pretend that I don't know what the laws are, because, ma'am, on my YouTube channel, on this very video that I'm recording right now, all right, it's now 22 minutes and 57 seconds long, and the front cover of it is the federal laws that mandate exactly what it is that I'm talking to you about, which means that this federal law is there for every one of my viewers to see. I have posted up the mandated reporter training videos. I've posted up the mandated reporter training information. And it seems to me that every mandated reporter is trying to play stupid right now, like they don't know what their jobs are, talking to us like we're stupid. The victims do not deserve to be treated like that. When we try to turn in our abusers, it is not okay for us to turn them into mandated reporters who are going to become abusive with us for trying to tell on law enforcement.
John, do you have any other advocates? Like, do you have a case manager?
No, I don't. That's the problem, is that for 6 years... See, that's the thing, is that you're changing the subject again. I need to turn in, very specifically, the mandated reporters within your office and your department that I've spoken with and the crimes that they have committed. The fact that I've recorded it for my quality assurance.
Information on to our management? Is that what you're asking?
Ma'am, no more passing it on. You allow me to advocate for myself. I have been trying to explain it. Ma'am, you are going out of your way to play stupid yourself. I need you to stop and listen.
Many times tonight.
I need you to stop and listen instead of blowing me off. Instead of blowing off the victim, you need to listen. Stop talking over me. You are committing felonies too now.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling the Lifeline. This is Judy. May I have your name and a confirmation of your phone number in case you get disconnected?
My name is Sean David Schwartz. I don't know my phone number, and calling it or reciting it back to me, I wouldn't be able to verify it anyway if you did read it back to me, so it's a bad idea. Also, this is being recorded live because multiple people from 988 have committed felonies against me tonight. And instead of doing their jobs as mandated reporters, they're committing felonies. It is not okay to go have my predators get to do their speaking, but I don't get to do mine. For these people to be allowed to help their coworkers with getting away with felonies is not okay. For them to refuse to report any of the crimes committed by law enforcement or other mandated reporters in this state is felonious. None of you have the right to do that, especially with a disabled and at-risk adult. So, I need to turn in Anna, and I need to turn in Robin, and I need to turn in Mary, and who's the other one? Robin, Anna, Mary, and God, there's one more. This is a lot of calls that I've had to make tonight because mandated reporters who work for you want to go out of their way to change their minds about what the law is. Try to decide that they're not actually mandated reporters when I try to turn in people who are committing crimes that have badges. You know it's a felony not to, right?
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Is it okay? I would advise that you call us back tomorrow and you can continue reporting then, okay?
Ma'am, I haven't been allowed to report yet.
Right.
The
so
reports
you
of
can call
abuse.
back tomorrow to do your report.
Ma'am,
Okay.
it is entirely unacceptable for you to blow me off.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, that is not okay. It is not okay to victimize the victims, and it's not funny.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling Lifeline. My name is Robin. Can I get your name?
Robin, this is Sean Schwartz again, and please don't commit any more felonies.
You have reached the comfort line. You may select
Well,
one of
that went over
recorded
well.
therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery.
They don't want to do their fucking jobs. So let's call back.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tell
We
me
are
this wouldn't
here
push you to
help.
commit
Para
suicide.
español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes.
How many crimes can one
Stay on the
agency
line while
commit in
your
a
call
night?
is directed to an available responder. Thank you for calling the Lifeline. This is Ann. Can I get your first name?
My name is Sean. My last name is Schwartz. And I don't know how many crimes your people have committed tonight from 988 so far, but they're committing a lot of them.
You need to call 911 if you're having an emergency, and you can call back tomorrow. Have a good night.
Ma'am, that is inappropriate of you. You're protecting my predators. 911 doesn't... God damn it.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Thank you for calling the Lifeline. My name's Carla. Can I get your name, county, and confirmation of your phone number in case you get disconnected?
My name is Sean David Schwartz. I'm not going to verify my phone number because it's a new phone and I can't remember it. If you were to read it back to me, I wouldn't be able to verify it anyway. I'm in Tillamook County, and I'm trying to turn in abuse by mandated reporters here in Tillamook County, as well as multiple crimes committed by people at 988 tonight, refusing to do their jobs as mandated reporters and putting an at-risk adult at further risk, as well as intimidation.
Yeah, so Sean, I see that you've been calling. I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to call 911, all right?
Ma'am, 911 is the ones that sent me to you, so stop. Stop. You need to do your jobs. You need to stop blowing off the most at-risk adults in the country and treating them like they deserve it when they're trying to turn in people who have committed crimes against them. So here's the thing, is that I need...
You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapy. You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, Please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available respondent. Thank you for calling the Lifeline. This is Ann. Can I get your first name, please?
Hello, Ann. My name is Sean, and I am trying to turn in mandated reporters who committed crimes against me, including multiple people at 988 tonight.
Hi, Sean. You're going to need to call 911 if you have any continued...
I was sent to you by 911. I was sent to you by a lot of different places. You need to stop committing felonies against me.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling the Lifeline. My name is Maria. Can I get your name, county, and confirmation of your phone number in case we get disconnected?
Maria, this is Sean Schwartz, and you better not commit any more felonies. It's already become felonious enough for it to be considered conspiracy, especially since rather than taking my report about you, your coworkers chose to come conspire with you, chose to hang up on the phone and go talk to you. And then all of your coworkers since have been disrespectful and rude and inconsiderate. There are things that you need to know, which means that you don't have the right to talk over the victim. You do not have the right to refuse to write a report. You have no right to refuse. You have no right. You do not get to talk over me and refuse to hear what I'm saying. This is not acceptable. You are being very inhumane, and this is not acceptable. This is not okay. You need to listen to what I am saying. You need to not blow me off and not refuse to do your job. You are a mandated reporter. A mandated reporter. The things that I told you need to go to Adult Protection Services, but you literally went out of your way to ignore any and all of your friends and families here, didn't you? Are you friends with the Tillamook Police Department? Do you know those people? Then why cover for them?
You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery. Press 2 for a body scan relaxation exercise. You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
On the lifeline, this is Jenny. May I have your name, a confirmation of your phone number in case you get disconnected?
Do what?
Thank you for calling the lifeline. This is Jody. May I have your name and the confirmation of your phone number in case we get disconnected?
My name is Sean Schwartz. I don't know my phone number, so there's no reason to try to verify it with me. This call is being recorded live, as have been the last 15 phone calls to 988. Oh, that hung up already.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling the lifeline. This is Ann. Can I get your first name?
Ann, this is Sean, and I need you to stop blowing me off. It is not okay to take advantage of an at-risk adult.
You get the same exact response every time that you call.
Well, then you guys need to stop committing felonies. If you're going to keep committing felonies and talking over me and taking advantage of an at-risk adult and assisting that at-risk adult's predators and get away, you are literally trying to push them to suicide. Stop talking over the victim! Stop!
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling Lifeline. My name is Robin. Can I get your name?
Stop tapping on your phone. Nobody on my channel is dumb enough to believe this, and neither am I. You need to stop committing felonies against me. You need to stop talking over me, and you need to stop playing retarded. You need to stop.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling the Lifeline. My name's Carla. Can I get your name, county, and confirmation of your phone number in case you get disconnected?
Are you going to do your jobs as mandated reporters, or are you going to push me to commit suicide again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer you over. I encourage you to call 911, okay?
I've called 911. They sent me to you, but you won't listen. Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, so again, gonna go ahead and transfer you and encourage you to call 911.
Transfer me to who? And stop sending me to 911. I have to turn them in, and I got to turn you in. I've done everything that I can to comply with every order that I am given, every command that I am given, to call every place that I am told to call, and every one of you plays stupid. It is not okay to victimize the victim or push them to suicide. It is not okay when your coworkers break the law for you guys to cover each other's backsides at the expense of the victim. It is not okay to push the victim to suicide. I'm trying to get help stopping abuse, but instead of people doing something about the abuse, they want to push me to suicide. It is my right and your duty to take my report when it comes to any abuse against me as an at-risk adult. That includes abuse by your coworkers. That includes abuse by Maria. And although Maria has a gentleman's voice, I'm trying not to be rude and inconsiderate about that, because it does make it very complicated for me, because then I got to try to figure out whether I'm supposed to say them, they, he, or she. But which acronym is used for what is arbitrary to me. I don't care about that. I care about turning in the abuse against me. And that includes by Maria. That includes Maria not making a report about any of the abuse by law enforcement here or any other mandated reporter. So I need to talk to your supervisor for my safety. I know the laws, and I know when they're being violated. Do what?
Well, yeah, you were saying?
I'm autistic, and for me to be stuck in public, I literally can't think or function to do anything while stuck with extraneous background noises. It is very difficult for me to speak.
Okay.
Now, what I need right now is for you to take a mandated report about your coworkers.
Right, Sean, so you were mentioning that you were having thoughts of suicide. Is that correct?
Now you are trying to run around and beat around the bush. I'm trying to turn in your coworkers for trying to push me to suicide. Big difference.
So can I get some information from you real quick? Can I have your location?
I'm in Tillamook, and I am not trying to kill myself, and it is not okay for you to play those head games. I'm trying to turn in abuse by law enforcement and by 988 right now. My name is Sean
Well,
Schwartz.
if you are having thoughts of suicide, you can call.
Ma'am, you are changing the
emergency medical services.
Ma'am, you are changing the
We can
subject.
go
You
ahead
are
and call
changing the subject and doing everything that you can
Okay.
to not do your job as a
Sean,
mandated
we
reporter.
can
I
go
will
ahead
call
and-
back.
Okay.
I will not
Would you
be
like
talked
this?
over or disrespected or treated like an animal for trying to turn in crimes against me. I will not be redirected. It is not okay to victimize the victim. It is not okay to talk down to the victim or over the victim. It is never okay. I already told you the 911 sent me to you guys. I've already told you that. Stop changing the subject and going out of your way not to do your jobs. I am a human being and you are treating me like an animal. This is not okay.
Press 3 for affirmations. You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press
Well, I guess well, do we follow instructions? No, we don't get to. Because they want us to call 911.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help.
No, the fuck you're not!
To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thank you for calling the Lifeline. This is Anne.
And you need to stop sending me to 911. I have to turn in bad cops here, and I need to turn you guys in. Now, the big issue here is Maria, but everybody else has done the same thing. You do not have the right to deny me the right to turn this in. Oh, hung up already. We'll try it again.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
All right.
You have reached comfort line. You may select.
We already know the lady who taps on it with her fingernails like that is the woman who has the very, very, very thick black accent. Did you like that? Yeah, it just sounds like a black woman. I just can't remember her name. The voice is easy to recognize, and she's the one that taps on the phone when she wants to play stupid. One of the other ones wipes it on her sleeve, and one of the dudes just, I can't hear you. They play stupid. They play stupid.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans
Robin,
Crisis
that's her
Line,
name.
if you are a U.S. veteran or
Robin's the
service
one that
member
taps on the
or
phone
are
with her
calling about
fingernails.
one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Thanks for calling the Lifeline. This is Jody. May I have your name and confirmation of your phone number in case we get disconnected?
My name is Sean Schwartz. There's no reason to verify my number. I won't be able to verify it back to you because I don't know my number. I need to turn in
Sean, I would
crimes
advise
committed
that you
against
call
me.
us tomorrow, okay?
Ma'am,
If you have an emergency, then you can contact
ma'am, I
911.
called 911. That's the thing, is that I can't call 911. They won't do their jobs. They'll send me to you. And then you will refuse to do your jobs as mandated reporters, too. This is not okay. Oh, hung up on again. See, this is the thing. If you do your job to begin with, I don't have to call back.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Hello? Hello?
You have reached the comfort line. You may select one of 3 recorded therapeutic interventions. Press 1 for guided imagery. Press 2 for a body scan relaxation exercise. Press 3 for affirmations.
See, no matter what, they don't give a shit if you fucking kill yourself. They fucking push you to it.
988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime
We are
número
here
dos.
to help.
To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Hi, thank you for calling Lifeline. This is Stacy. How can I help you today?
Hello, Stacy. I'm hoping that you are the one person at that place who's not going to commit a felony tonight. My name is Sean.
How can I? Okay.
Anyway,
And how can I?
hello?
Yes, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What can I help with?
Well, it seems to me now that I'm trying to turn you guys in, I'm getting every different amount of people playing dumb or pretending that they can't hear me. I'm stuck in public. I have difficulties hearing as a result of it. I'm autistic, and instead of understanding my disabilities, I am being exploited for it. I've called 988 repeatedly. I have asked to speak to a supervisor.
Yes, you have called repeatedly, and you're not in danger, so that's why
I am in danger, and that's the point. I am being put in danger because I am being talked over by everybody there. You won't listen to me. You talk over the victims. Do you know how dehumanizing that is? Imagine if you tried to call the cops because you were being harmed, and they sent you to 988, and 988 sent you to the fucking bitch. Hung up already.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprime número dos. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please continue to hold. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. stay on the line. Please continue to hold. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder.
Good morning, hotline. This is Jasmine speaking. How may I support?
I need to turn in crimes committed against me. I am an at-risk adult, and it is against the law for mandated reporters not to take my report. You are all mandated reporters, so it is required by law that you take my report.
What type of report were you looking to file?
Abuse against an at-risk adult.
Okay. So like adult services, or you said an abuse?
I need to report abuse. I need to report abuse specifically by people from 988 tonight. I need to report in specific Marie not doing her job, their job as a mandated reporter. I attempted to turn in crimes that were committed against me by Officer Lotham and several other officers. Marie chose to not write that down, to ignore everything that I said, and to make obviously not a report about the abuse by the people here in Oregon. Law enforcement here has harmed me repeatedly and keeps sending me to 988. 988 keeps sending me to 911. 911 tells me not to call or they'll arrest me. I'm supposed to call 988. So,
Right.
Marie, when I called, I tried explaining about the abuse by Officer Lotham and also by Officer Troy Olson. Now, Mary didn't record any of it, didn't write any of it down. When I asked Mary to recite it back to me, Mary did not recite back to me any of the stuff that I was reporting about mandated reporters harming me, including the police. So, when I tried to call back to complain about that, I was told that Mary made a report. I know what Mary made a report about. It was about a situation with Natalie, and that's the only part that Mary was willing to write down. Now, instead of repeatedly trying to redirect me when I am trying to turn in law enforcement, I need to be allowed to turn in law enforcement. I am a disabled and at-risk adult who is stuck in a very at-risk situation. And instead of your hotline assisting me in turning in those issues, I have been treated entirely inhumane, including by Robin. I can tell when people are trying to play stupid about not hearing me. Robin likes to tap with her fingernails on the phone. So it's pretty easy to tell which one's Robin. She does that every time. It's pretty easy to tell a lot of these different people who work for you based on their quirks. That's what happens when you have to call as many times as I do to get blown off. When it comes to Mary, I believe, I explained a lot of the issues here, a lot about the abuse, where it started, who my abusers were, and Mary didn't write any of that down. None of the stuff with Officer Lotham, none of the stuff with Molly, none of the stuff with any of the abuse against me. Instead, I get the suicide hotline stuff pushed on me like crack. I'm not on crack, I don't do crack, and I didn't come to suicide hotline to be treated like a crackhead there for a fix. When it comes to Officer Lotham, that needs to be turned in. The crimes that were committed against me by the other officers, including Trent Olson, need to be turned in. The crimes that were committed against me by the police department here in general need to be turned in. There's also the mandated reporters that I'm sent to that are supposed to help that don't. Instead, what you're supposed to do as a mandated reporter is turn it into Adult Protective Services and law enforcement right away. Well, I've been here for 6 months with 988, 911, and of course all these other services that I'm being sent to, telling me it's not their job or I got to call somebody else. No, none of you have the right as mandated reporters to deny me the right to make an oral report or to victimize me or abuse me or refuse to turn it in. Now, 988 has done this as long as I've been here in Tillamook. Matter of fact, they did the same thing when I was in Colorado, same thing in Nebraska. Treat me entirely inhumanely because I'm not trying to kill myself right this moment. Or, of course, when I say, hey, this is literally what pushes people to commit suicide. Instead, what I get is, oh, well, what I'm hearing is that you want to self-harm. No. Reinterpreting the words of the victims is a very disgusting, narcissistic thing to do. And it's not okay for people to work for Suicide Hotline who are going to be narcissistic towards victims, who are going to try to work together with their other coworkers to prevent their crimes from being turned in. That's against the law. I've taken the mandated reporter training, and the fact is every single person that I have called tonight has broken the law as far as mandated reporter training goes. I am an at-risk adult in an at-risk situation. It's not okay to treat me like I'm retarded, or like my words don't matter, or like my trauma doesn't exist because people don't want to write it down. Then I get treated like I didn't make an effort, that I made it all up, and that's why you guys are recorded live on my YouTube channel. The first few times that I called 988 or Suicide Hotline for help, it pushed me to commit suicide because of this exact treatment. Because I'm being sent to mandated reporters who are sending me to other people because nobody wants to do their job as a mandated reporter. But by refusing to take that report and refusing to put that information in there, and by trying to repeatedly argue with me over and over again, I can't believe anything that is said by them. I tried to ask for a supervisor instead of being treated inhumanely. Instead, I was told, oh, well, we'll forward it to our supervisor. No, that is not okay. It is not okay for people who are either A, completely untrained and lying about being mandated reporters, or B, they are mandated reporters and they know that they're committing felonies. It's either one or the other.
Right. So, yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying, and that's unfortunate the way, you had to deal with the situation.
I don't need people blowing shit up my ass. I don't need you to bluster me. I need you to do your job as a mandated reporter.
Okay. Well, let's take it down a bit because I'm trying to help you. But
yes, ma'am.
As far as the report, I am not a mandated reporter. I cannot report this, and that's just not, I'm a crisis counselor. So that's not something I can do. But have you talked to the domestic violence line? Have you talked to them yet?
Ma'am, I've talked to everybody there is to talk to. That's why I'm stuck talking to you guys. And who is it on your staff that is a mandated reporter? Because lots of them said they are.
Do not report this at all. We deal with suicide and crisis.
Well, then maybe you should call the police and tell them that you're not mandated reporters. Tell them that you're not trained as mandated reporters.
Tell who? I'm telling you right now, I'm not a mandated reporter.
I'm telling you that I'm going to be ignored by the police if I come to them with your words. They're going to call me a liar. They're going to treat me like crap, same as they always do.
Right. Well, I recommend calling this number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
I've already done that. I had at least...
I'm dealing with violence.
Ma'am, I already called them. They sent me around on a wild goose chase too, including your number. All of these agencies all have mandated reporters, and all of you are sending me around in circles for absolutely no reason. All this does is reciprocate the abuse and guarantee that it's going to happen again. It shouldn't be an argument with suicide hotline. You're supposed to be a crisis line too. Instead of, well, doing your jobs, when I try to turn in the law enforcement and the other agencies that I've been sent to here, instead of refusing to do your jobs as mandated reporters to turn that in right away, I'm being sent to these services again and again. You're referring me to the same people that referred me to you. You're all mandated reporters.
Okay. Please fix your tone because I'm trying to help you the best I can. But yelling at me will not get us anywhere right now.
Ma'am, I'm not yelling, all right? I'm capable of yelling, but the environment that I am in is very difficult to think through and to speak over. And the fact that I'm being entirely disrespected and have been repeatedly lied to, because I was told by multiple people tonight that you are mandated reporters. I've got multiple recordings.
We are able to report CPS, but when it comes to whatever you're trying to report, I'm letting
abuse
you know
against an at-risk adult, and it is covered. Abuse against an at-risk adult, ma'am. Abuse against an at-risk adult is covered, especially when those people are trying to push the victim to commit suicide. So instead of trying to...
Well, I'm letting you know what I can do for you today, and I'm sorry that's not what you'd like to hear. Would you like another referral? Because that's all I can give you for today.
Ma'am, that's literally what I've gotten for 6 months running. All right? How difficult is it to allow a person to make a mandated report to a mandated reporter? You are mandated reporters. If I said I'm going to blow my head off as soon as I get off the phone with you, what would you have to do by law?
Call 911. So that is what you can do right now. So you
and 911 sent me to you. That's the thing, is you need to stop sending me around in circles. 911 sent me to you. TFCC sent me to you. TCCHC sent me to you. Department of Health and Human Services sent me to you. The Northwest Senior and Disability Services sent me to you. Do what?
Sir, are you currently thinking about suicide?
Ma'am, your 988 people are trying to push me to suicide. There's a big difference between someone being bullied to suicide and someone trying to get help because they're being abused. I'm being abused by local law enforcement and local services, and that includes 988. And according to the mandated training, and it is federal, yes, you do have to take my report. And Mary didn't, and neither did the rest of them. But with Mary, at least I was able to verify from Mary that Mary did not make the report about any of the abuse by any of the mandated reporters. And then when I had to call back and I had to try to turn that in and had to complain about that, instead I got arguments and I got, oh, I have to go talk to Mary. And then, of course, it's going off and having a... You do realize this is illegal, right? Like, you're not allowed to go and warn my predators that I'm trying to turn them in. You're not allowed to coordinate with my predators to assist them to get away.
What I will tell you today is that you can contact your local DSS office.
I've already done that, and they sent me to you as well. So it's time for you to stop sending me around in circles and refusing to hear anything that I have to say. You're intentionally playing dumb. This is not okay.
All right. Well,
You
I'm
need to
sorry
stop
miss
being
you. I just want to
abusive.
hear
You
you're
are
getting
being
very
abusive
hostile
to
with me, and
at-risk
that is not
adults.
what
You
we
are
were
being
going to talk
abusive
today.
to an at-risk adult. You
All
are
right, I
taking
am just
advantage of an
calling the
at-risk adult, and
911,
you're
but
assisting
I am not a mandated
you're
reporter, and I
assisting your
cannot take this
coworkers in
settle.
getting away with predatory
So if you're
action
completely
against an at-risk
hostile,
adult, and
fine.
talking
I will
over
hang
me
up
is
the call now.
inappropriate.
Have a
It
good
is
day.
inappropriate for you to talk over me instead of listening to me and taking my report. Doesn't matter who I fucking call, nobody fucking cares. It's nobody's job, apparently. Plenty of people get arrested for this shit every fucking day. Abuse against at-risk adults is a serious fucking crime. But without a friend or family member who cares, we get the fucking run around, you pieces of shit. Fucking call 988 my ass. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. Fuck this goddamn country and fuck these pieces of shit. You want me to fucking bust my ass for fucking nothing? You're fucking stupid. You're all goddamn fucking pieces of shit and goddamn cowards.
You've reached the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. We are here to help. Para español, oprima el número 2. To reach the Veterans Crisis Line, if you are a U.S. veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. To connect to specialized support for LGBTQ plus people under the age of 25, press 3. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to a Lifeline crisis counselor. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please continue to hold. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please continue to hold. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Good morning, hotline. Gloria speaking. May I help you?
Hello, Gloria. I have been on the phone with you guys. This is the 26th time that I've called tonight. It is not okay to victimize the victims. It is not okay to deny an at-risk adult the right to turn in their predators. I've been denied that right everywhere that I have been. That includes calling 988, where I am sent to call 911. 911 will threaten me with harm for trying to turn in the local sheriff and the local police department for the crimes committed against me by them. Now, out of all the times that I've called, I have been completely and totally disrespected. I have attempted to state clearly what my intentions are, and instead I have mandated reporters literally going out of their way to reinterpret everything that I say into something else, and then try to redirect me to another mandated reporter. You know what? I've been through 6 years of being sent from one mandated reporter to another. I know the treatment. I know how differently it is when somebody calls a mandated reporter as a pretty white girl versus a homeless man. It ain't even close to the same. I got to be able to turn in Officer Lotham and his partner for abuse against an at-risk adult last year, as well as all of the crimes that have been committed since then by the officers, by 988, by every service in Tillamook County that I have gone to. They have all blown me off, all played stupid, all gone out of their way to exploit my disabilities rather than allow me a safe place where I can write a police report. The victimization against me isn't okay. It's not okay at all. Now, I require that Officer Lotham and Officer Olson I need to turn them in for threats, harassment, and intimidation ongoing since I moved to Tillamook, Oregon. There's a lot of other crimes that have been committed against me as well, and it's for assuredly not appropriate for people who work for 988 to prevent an at-risk adult from turning that in. I got to turn in the stuff with Marie and also most of your coworkers, because I've been completely disrespected, and them attempting to push me to suicide by literally going out of their way not to do their jobs is highly inappropriate. They are mandated reporters. I was assaulted at the hospital here on January 28th. I was at the hospital last year on November 18th, I believe, And when I was at the hospital last year, Lotham got to be there again. There are multiple times since where I've been harassed by Lotham for trying to turn in crimes against me. All they do is talk over me and send me to TFCC and TCCHC, who send me to you, and then you send me to each of them. I got to turn all of you in because I'm still an at-risk adult. I'm still out here being abused. All of my resources are being spent to run around to all these services where all these people are getting paid. I'm not getting paid for being abused. I'm spending every bit of my money as a disabled person that's supposed to be going to taking care of myself. Well, I don't get to use it to take care of myself because I'm stuck homeless over abuse by law enforcement. I was gang stalked by a woman named Natalie Bollinger and her friends. They were on drugs. I'm not. Natalie is dead, but her friends never stopped their BS. They never stopped harming me. And the situation ever since, with law enforcement treating me like an animal, they treat all homeless people like animals. It's like BLM or the KKK. It's just hatred towards the wrong people, towards people who can't defend themselves. I can't defend myself, and that is no excuse for any of the agencies that I'm supposed to go to because I can't take care of myself or defend myself. It's no excuse for them to harm me for that. Anyway, I need to turn in Mary for refusing to make a mandated report. And I still need to make that report against Officer Lotham.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you have experienced this. When did this happen? I'm not familiar with you or what happened. So
Natalie,
did this happen?
Natalie was shot in the head in 2017 in Colorado after over a year of her and her friends gang stalking me. They were on drugs. I don't do drugs. Now, all of the situation with me calling 988, there was 25 calls today. There was, I believe, 15 calls yesterday. But I also got over 100 restricted threats against my life on Friday. Restricted calls over and over again. When I try to turn that in, I get run around in circles. I don't know. It's gang stalking on the internet because of the Natalie Bollinger situation. It became very popular because of the true crime stuff. So a lot of people have targeted me because of that. They know I'm autistic. They also watch my channel, so they know that none of the mandated reporters are going to do their jobs, which just steps up their game. These people make fake accounts in my friends and family's names. They threaten, harass, and intimidate my friends and family. And I've got recording after recording from that. I've also got recording after recording of my friends and family telling me how afraid they are and why. But the police in Natalie's case were so sure that I had killed Natalie, they were willing to commit felonies to try to make sure I got locked up. When they realized I wasn't the one that killed Natalie, they started committing even heavier felonies because they didn't want to get in trouble. Who cares? We don't want our friends to lose their jobs or go to jail over some hobo retard who's probably on drugs and mentally ill. And that's how I get treated every time I try to turn this in. Anyway, the situation with the abuse that I've endured, it's been nationwide. I've been from one end of the country to the other because I'm told, oh, well, if you go here, I'll help you. If you go there, I'll help you. And I go where I'm told to go, and then I'm stuck there alone with no support, no friends or family members. And I run around to all these places that I'm supposed to go to for assistance, and they all blow me off and tell me to do it myself. I'm incapable. I am incapable of doing this for myself. And I can't trust anyone else to do it for me because they will literally ignore all of the law enforcement officers who took part in this. They will pretend that I didn't make a report, that I didn't try, or like it's not their job. So I need to turn in Mary for threats, harass, and intimidation against me tonight from 988, as well as Mary's coworkers for the way that they dehumanized me and downplayed everything that I've gone through in the last 6 months. I'm an at-risk and disabled adult. It's not all right to beat me down for being in a situation of subservience. I didn't choose it. I was victimized to this. In my hometown, they call me N-word lover, but they don't use the N-word. That's Chapel, Nebraska. I left there because I can't stand the KKK. Tillamook's full of the KKK, too. Then I'm told to go to Portland. I go to Portland. They tell me I can't turn anything in because I'm in the wrong jurisdiction. Meanwhile, when it comes to abuse against at-risk adults, especially when it takes place across multiple jurisdictions and across state lines, and takes place in person as well as on the internet, then yes, something is supposed to be done. Instead of me getting desperate and having to literally threaten people back, or God forbid, kill myself to stop this abuse, instead of trying to kill myself, I keep calling to get help. I keep calling the mandated reporters because I need them to do their jobs as mandated reporters. I'm an at-risk and disabled adult, no matter their opinion.
So may I ask you, what have you been told as far as when you say you wanted to report? Like what have you been told?
I've been told to go to 988. I've been told to go to 911. I've been told to go to TFCC. Been told to go to TCCHC.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, I just mean when you say that you want to file a report, I'm saying, what have you been told about doing a report?
I've been given every excuse about reports. I know what the law is about reports. I also know what I'm being told. And when everybody's got a different idea of what the law states, it only states one thing. So for me to call these mandated reporters, whether it be law enforcement or Tillamook Family Counseling Center or 988 or Boulder Police Department or Dual County Sheriff's Department or literally anybody, it's like screaming into a void. I ask nicely for the help I need. I try to explain my disabilities, and then I'm exploited for those disabilities. One of them being a communication disability. The more people talk over me, the more scared I am. I'm also real good at spotting somebody who's trying to hide something. That's because I grew up in the system. Instead of changing the subject, I need to turn in Lotham and I need to turn in Mary. And you are a mandated reporter. You do have the mandated reporter training. And the abuse that I've taken tonight would literally push somebody to commit suicide who is weaker minded than I. It's not okay for Suicide Hotline to adopt policies that are against the law and result in innocent people, including people who are not suicidal yet, pushing them to commit suicide.
And so with what you've experienced and with what you're saying, that has happened to you. Are you having active thoughts of suicide?
And see, that's the thing, is that I'm trying to turn in abuse against me. I'm not attempting to commit suicide. I'm attempting to get help. It's when you erase all hope that people commit suicide. So don't erase my hope. Don't erase my hope of getting a stop to this abuse.
So have you? So where did the incidents happen?
Several of the instances have happened at Fred Meyer's. The instances with Officer Lotham and Officer Olson, the first time that I interacted with them was at Fred Meyer's last year. And then Lotham
and what location or area?
Tillamook, Oregon.
Like, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Tillamook, Oregon. It happened at the Fred Meyer's.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, multiple instances happened at the Fred Meyer's. Ma'am, I can't be forced to live in this condition.
Have you been able to take it above, like further than, like other police officers? Like, are you able to?
No, ma'am, I don't
like
even
make
get past.
a case or do anything like that?
Ma'am, I'm incapable of taking care of myself because of my injuries. That includes a lot of abuse by police. The most likely people to be shot in the United States by police or killed by police are the homeless per capita. The second most likely are men. 96% of those killed by police are men. 51% of those killed by police last year were disabled, and 60% of them were homeless. I happen to be a man who is disabled and homeless. Now that 60% is misgiving because they say there's about 600,000 homeless people in the United States, and there's about 60 million black people in the United States. 22% of those killed by police in 2019 were black. 24% of those killed by police last year were black. However, 49% of those killed by police in 2019 were homeless. At the time, there was only 500,000 homeless people estimated. That means that with only 1/120th the population size of the black population, the homeless accounted for more than double those killed by police. Also, the increase over 5 years of black people being killed by the police went from 22% to 24%. That's only 2%. Compared to the homeless, where it went from 49% to 60%. That's an 11% increase. That's a lot of increase. If the police, if we had the same population size as black people do and police killed us at the same rate, we would account for 48,000 people killed by the police every year. That would make it so that 99% of those killed by police every year would be homeless people. We're over twice as likely to be killed by somebody in a house than to kill somebody in a house. We're also 34 times more likely to be killed as a hitchhiker than to kill the person who picks us up. We are the most victimized people in the country, and this is why. Mandated reporters don't care about us. Our families don't care about us. I go to Tillamook Family Counseling Center. They don't care about their job as a mandated reporter. They care about making me do therapy and run around and do stupid human tricks. But all it does is eat up all my money and all of my time. Making me go to the racist assholes here in Tillamook, Oregon to turn in the racist assholes in Tillamook, Oregon doesn't work very well. I look too Jewish. I'm also homeless, and I'm male, and I'm autistic. I also have physical disabilities that prevent me from taking care of myself. And for the last 7 years, I've been explaining to law enforcement, hey, I get a disability check because I can't take care of myself. It's not okay to continue to let people hurt me. I can't take care of myself. Anyway, I'd like the recordings.
And have you been able to receive any kind of any kind of like assistance or anything like that, or resources?
No, ma'am, I just get one phone number to another. That's why I keep getting sent back to 988, because every mandated reporter here has sent me to 988. Every one of them. Many of the phone calls that I had to make to the upper echelons of our state, the upper echelon people don't answer their phone, but they sent me to 988. Meanwhile, the people at 988 have sent me to all of the places that sent me to 988. They've also all sent me to all of these other agencies, each of them saying it's not their job. Each of them, when I try to explain to them the crimes that are committed against me, I get talked over. At this point, I have been up all night. I have spent over 2 hours on the phone just this stint, over 4 hours overall, trying to get somebody to do their job as a mandated reporter and allow me to turn in multiple situations that have happened. But that doesn't work when you have to make 25 phone calls and you're being victimized by the people at the suicide crisis line. The other thing is that I read up about you guys, and yes, you are a suicide line. That is absolutely true, but you're not just a suicide hotline. You're also a crisis line. That includes crisis for autistic people. But we're not having that observed because all people want to push is the suicide thing, just like at the hospital. On January 28th, when I was assaulted, a lady from TFCC was there, and she was trying to push me to say that suicide stuff, sorry. And I wasn't biting it. I said, hey, I'm here because I need to turn in crimes against me, and there's supposed to be a social worker, and none of these people are following the rules or guidelines. There's never a social worker. The police are supposed to work together with the victims and Adult Protective Services, and in the 6 months that I've been here, Adult Protective Services has not come to see me. I'm told that there is no Adult Protective Services worker here, and I'm sent to agencies that aren't doing the job, that think that they shouldn't be held accountable for talking down to retards, basically. But the thing is that it didn't just result in threats against me. I've endured a lot of physical harm and literally cannot take care of myself any longer. I haven't been able to take care of myself since 2015, I'm sorry. I didn't get disability money until 2017. I am disabled. I do get a disability check. I am autistic. Instead of trying to understand what that means, I just get talked over. So I want to make sure that the situation with Lotham is turned in. But also, I'm in a state of crisis. I'm living in my car. I've got a bunch of paper evidence I can't carry and a computer I can't carry because I can't take care of myself. And if I say it 1,000 times, they still don't get that I can't take care of myself.
So, are you needing like any kind of, because you said that you have gone to different places. I mean, is there anything I can help you with as far as like resources are concerned?
Well, I called to turn in Officer Lotham and also to turn in Mary.
I was going to say, do you need any kind of like assistance or shelter?
Yes,
or
that's why I called you.
Like caregiver or anything like that?
Ma'am, I've needed a caregiver since I was a kid. Being an autistic person is... Police blow us off or they shoot us. Our parents don't give us that speech about how when your friends run, you can't. So we end up getting shot for stimming. With all the meth heads in the world, it's just assumed that we must be on drugs and mentally ill, and blam, when they kill us, they get away with it. just like with Thomas Kelly. I've had police officers assault me repeatedly for trying to turn them in, putting their knee on the back of my neck, putting their knee in the center of my back, twisting my joints and my injuries to make me scream for help, and then pretending that I'm screaming for no reason. It's called pain compliance. Anywhere else in the world, it's called torture. It's funny how we change a word and it makes it okay to hurt. Like when you change the word mentally disabled to mentally ill, magically you've taken somebody who is being abused because they're disabled to associating them with David Koresh and the Branch Davidians, or associating with Jeffrey Dahmer or Jack the Ripper. People don't hear us.
Mm-hmm. Have you been able to report it, like, to your to the state? Have you been able to,
No, ma'am, I've been trying. That's the problem, is that I've been trying, and every single place exploits my disabilities and then tells me to call somebody who says it's not their job. I've been sent to 988 over, I want to say, 36 times since I've been in Tillamook.
Mm-hmm.
At least. I've been
and
referred.
I'm wondering if you mention suicide, that may be why they send you to 988.
Even if I don't mention suicide, because like I said, from the article that I was reading and from what several of these mandated reporters have told me, that you're not just a suicide line, you're also a crisis line. You're an emergency crisis line on the weekends, because not everybody is trying to kill themselves. They're trying to get help with abuse. I get that it's a suicide line. It's also supposed to be a crisis line, and the mandated reporters there are all still supposed to do their jobs. If they don't, it results in dead people. That's the moral of the story with Natalie Bollinger. That's the moral of the story with Anna Hunka. That's the moral of the story with Ryan Ingersoll.
Mm-hmm.
So have you been able to write down the name Lotham?
You said Lotham?
Lotham, Lotham.
Is that one of the officers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said this is something that happened in 2017?
No, the stuff with Lotham happened here in Tillamook. He's an officer who took part in helping my predators get away when I first got here.
Okay, so when
A lady
you
named
said
Molly.
when you first got to Oregon?
No, when I first got here, I spent 6 months just about busted down in Hood River, being victimized almost every day by the homeless people there and being ignored by law enforcement until I was forced to move. Then I went to the Dalles. In the Dalles, there was a lot of abuse. I recorded it. Actual physical abuse against people caught on camera. Actual physical abuse by a man who's probably 6'5" against a woman who is probably no taller than 5'4". Her name is Jamie, and she is disabled herself. But no mandated reporter would allow me to make a report, and I had no safe place to make one. I can't be stuck in public because I get overwhelmed with all of the extraneous noise. It makes it impossible to hear people. It makes it impossible to hear my own thoughts. It's just because it's sensory overload, and that's the way it works.
Yeah. So the incident with the Lotham guy, the officer when did that happen?
All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to zone out on you. There was a vehicle that drove by. So if you could repeat your question.
I was saying the incident with the Lotham, you said, officer, the Lotham person that you mentioned. When did that happen?
That happened last November. and then again last November, and then again in December, and again in either January or February, and then I believe 3 times this month. So, like I said, it's ongoing, and he's done it frequently and often.
And what is he doing? Is he?
Well, at first he was refusing to do his job as
physical abuse.
At first he was refusing to do his job for an at-risk adult. He's a mandated reporter. He blew me off. But after that, he was just intimidating me for trying to turn him in for not doing his job as a mandated reporter. Repeatedly, when I tried to turn him in, he's the one that showed up, including at the Tillamook and Venice Hospital. That was November 18th or 19th.
So, okay,
of 2022.
so you were trying to, let him know what happened, and you wanted it to be reported, and
I was sent to the mandated reporters. I was sent to the mandated reporters that I was told to go to, and I go to all of the places that I'm told to. I also know what the laws are, so I follow those as well. The laws on who I'm supposed to report it to is literally any mandated reporter.
And so what is it? I'm trying to just clarify again. What is it exactly that you want to be reported?
Well, I want to report 6 years worth of abuse that has to be turned in. But for my safety, I need to turn in the mandated reporters in this town, as well as the ones from 988 that didn't do their jobs. Intimidating a victim into committing suicide isn't okay.
But what was the initial report? Like, what was the initial thing that you would have wanted to be reported? That you're saying that you haven't been able to get a report. Like, what?
Well, see, that's the thing, is that doesn't matter. What matters is that it's my disabilities that are preventing me from having a safe place. And that includes being targeted by the public the way that I've been. All of my money goes to trying to go somewhere it might be safe. And instead of helping me to turn in the crimes, I've had to move over 40 times since Natalie Bollinger got shot in the head. So it's important to... Sorry, there's cars going by and it distracts my attention. That's one of the major issues with being out here. I can't turn it off. Medications don't stop it. If I am overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed, and I shut down. And then my communication issues become difficult. And then, of course, people want to use the assumptions of low-functioning autism to pretend that we're all violent monsters that hurt people, that are only out to hurt people, that we're obsessed with pretty girlies and crap like that. I mean, really, for the most part, it's the furthest thing but. With the stuff that I need to turn in, I can't process it while leaving in a vehicle as a disabled person who can't carry anything on their back. I'm not supposed to carry anything more than 10 pounds. I'm not supposed to twist. But after being assaulted at the hospital by, God, what's his name? Stephan L. Stephanides, what am I supposed to do? You know? How am I supposed to feel safe going to the hospital here? After being victimized by the police, how am I supposed to feel safe going to the police here?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry that...
Definitely an issue, definitely a concern, yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm not communicating as well as I did when I first called over 20 calls ago, because now I'm razzled and frazzled and I'm afraid. I keep getting notifications that my friends are dying off like hotcakes. Not allowed to have a reaction to it, or I'll get locked up like I'm a nut job. I have to pretend that everything's okay and they didn't die and it doesn't affect me in the least bit. I can't do that anymore, ma'am. I need to be put somewhere.
Yeah. So is there some kind of number or something that I can help you with, help you to is there something that I can assist you with, some kind of information or something?
Well, I might be having a heart attack, so that's good. I'm actually hoping I am, and now that it might just be anxiety, and that would suck. But if it is a heart attack, just don't resuscitate me. I'm gonna let you go and hope that I can go to sleep and that I die of a heart attack, if that's okay.
I hope that you remain safe and that, that you end up okay. If you, need any kind of assistance or resources or anything like that, you can definitely give us a call back. But I do hope that you remain safe and that, your health remains intact, hopefully you do not have a heart attack. Yeah, and that you, remain here even though it may be difficult and it seems like people aren't, supporting you or listening to what you have to say. I hope that there's something that you can do, something that you can, some help, some assistance. So, yeah. But, yeah, if you do need to call us back, we are here for you.
Nope. I wasn't lucky enough for it to kill me.